up, fam? E-Fresh here, and I'm back with another video, and today we are back in the world of Destiny 2. Now, today's video is gonna be spicy as shit. This TWAB it's a thick one. It's a thick one. And I mean that in every sense of the word, thick. Like, it's a good one. So, I'm gonna go through this as fast as I can. I'm not trying to make some 20-minute video going through everything. We're just gonna go over all the sandbox changes. I haven't read this yet. I've only seen a snippet of it, which is what made me decide to do this video. So I want to read over this as quickly as I can, and we'll talk just a little bit about each thing. No big deal. I want to make the video as short as possible. Now, separate melee actions. I'm gonna go over this real fast. From what I can see here, okay. Have you ever tried to throw a knife at an approaching scree only to instead lunge forward and slap? Oh, bet. Okay. From what I can tell what this one is, they're basically going to separate the your charge melee and just your normal melee. And from what I'm reading in here, it's going to be within different controls. And saying you can customize it. Basically, let's say I wanted to keep my main charge melee. I'm on a controller, right? I'm not mouse and keyboard. Say I wanted to keep it on my R1 button for my melee. My charge melee, and then my other melee I can assign it to, say, right thumbstick. They just be like a normal just a normal melee. So that's dope. That's dope. Fine, because key example, right? Say you and your friend are playing, and he's a hunter. Shout out to the homie Shadow. He does this all the time, and he just melees me for no reason, and he used the melee charge when he didn't mean to. So now he can just punch me, and it's not a big deal anymore because he won't use his melee charge. So kudos to that. Shout out to that, man. I'm okay with that. That should have happened a long time ago, but that's what's up. Stasis freeze. Frozen players can now initiate breakout while airborne. Shorten breakout animation and camera transition. And that means once you decide to break out, you'll be able to fight back sooner. Differentiated long freeze and short freeze visual treatment to make each status easier to identify. So now, like, if you're in midair and you're frozen, you can initiate a breakout while you're in midair instead of having to just fall to the ground and do it. Just the other day, on my past video, which you should go check out, I was using my Thunder Crash and got frozen midair, and I just sank to the ground like a brick, a real slow brick. And I must say that was really annoying. So now I'll be able to break out of it. I still that means that negates my super though, because it's not like I can continue my Thunder Crash. It just means that I just can get out of it. So that's cool. Slide. Basically, look, man, there's too many shotgun apes going on in here from what Bungie's saying, and there's very low risk of just running gun playstyles is what this says. So while sliding, players now incur the weapon penalties. -20 stability, +15 shotgun pellet spread, and 1.5 times flinch. That should let you know this is for shotgun aping, for this one thing right here. Am I okay with that? Sure am, because this shotgun meta has been on for a while. Now, this is what's going to be the flip side of this. Now you're just going to see a lot of people sitting in the back with a sniper just waiting for you to walk by. So that's going to get annoying too. Like, it's hard to find a middle ground in these situations. I still think they can do it, but we're gonna see how these changes play out, and that's gonna make people just start sniping more and just sitting back like we had a few years ago, which they got old pretty fast too. So we'll have to just kind of see how that plays out. It says right here that on paper these changes look scarier than what they feel. So all I can do is take their word for it, and maybe it won't be that bad, but it'll be noticeable. Each class is getting nerfs and buffs. So let's start with the Titan. Rally Barricade. Standing behind the Rally Barricade now provides the following weapon buffs: +30 stability, +10% range, and -50% flinch. I'm gonna keep it real. Rally Barricades have not been used for a long time, probably since season of the Drifter, I'm gonna say. And yeah, I kind of understand why, because they made it to where they gave us outlaw and took away the fact that being behind that barrier and ducking behind it allows you to just automatically reload. So we just got outlaw basically at this point. Now, all that's still going to be here. You're still going to have the fast reload and everything, but we get a plus 30 stability, plus 10 range, and minus 50% flinch. Honestly, I'm more interested how this is going to be in PvP than PvE, because you imagine that, a plus 30 stability and plus 10 range and minus 50% flinch? Bruh, that actually sounds like it could be pretty damn useful in PvP, so I'm pretty excited about that. PvE, I mean, I think it's going to be a lot better than PvE there too, but PvP I'm more interested in. Players moving at high velocity now take more damage when moving through tight barricades. Good, because you could, like, if you're going fast enough, you can get through a barricade and not take much damage, like, at all. So now that's going to change. And barricades now slightly protrude into the ground to better protect the Titan's feet on uneven ground. Basically, there's times where you'll pop a barricade going like a ramp, and it'll still leave like a slight hole at the bottom for them to be able to throw something at your feet and still damage you. And now it's going to stick into the ground more instead of it just like stopping in midair, I assume. So that's cool. I really hope they also address the fact that celestial fire can just damage me through my barricade, because that's pretty annoying. Like, I can be sitting behind it and they can just aim for the barricade and hit the barricade and I still receive that damage. So I hope that gets looked into. Now, starting with the Behemoth. Again, I'm not reading all that, making it as quick as possible. Cryochlasm. While equipped, base slide now shatters crystals on frozen enemies. I know what they kind of nerfed it before that, so now they're kind of helping that part out, especially for PvE. Increased duration of screen effects notifying players that Cryochlasm long slide is ready from 1 second to 4.5. Okay. Shiver Strike. Increased movement speed by 25%. That is the melee, which is terrible right now. I mean, look, I'd use Behemoth at times, and I understand that it was way too powerful, and I actually was cool with the nerfs. I didn't care. But I'm not gonna lie, that Shiver Strike is god awful now. That super is terrible, which is why nobody really uses Behemoth anymore. So, well, they do for one reason, which I think is this next reason why. Now they fixed the bug for the Whisper of Rhyme. The overshield provided by Whisper of Rhyme was not scaling precision damage correctly. Here's the thing. A lot of people recently found, they would equip this and they would just throw down a glacier grenade, break it, and then just get overshields from it, and then just start off the match that way with an overshield. That shit was stupid. Like, it's dumb, and I hope that's noticeably fixed, because it's stupid. It is, yeah, that was a dumb thing, because it was just like 3 Titans were going trials using that shit, and I'm glad it's getting looked at, because that was dumb. So there's all the things for Behemoth. Middle Tree Sunbreaker. Okay, throwing hammer. From what I can see, increased time before a hammer explodes after hitting ground from 6.5 to 10 seconds. So you have a longer amount of time to pick up your hammer. That's cool. Increased damage versus powerful PvE combatants by 50%. That actually is a pretty big thing that I would be okay with using in PvE now. That super's still kind of annoying, and it's not near as good as it used to be. But to give a 50% more damage to use in PvE, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. I would actually try to use that. That's more so for orange and yellow bar enemies, so they're gonna take more damage from that hammer, so that's dope. Top and bottom tree striker. Fist of Havoc. Increase slam detonation radius by 14%. Reduce slam damage fall off and reduce slam attack activation cost from 21% to 18%. So those supers lately, I mean, they're still good. It's just that they've kind of, I don't know, like it says right here in today's sandbox, it's not as good. Like, they're kind of at a disadvantage. They're like, it's easy to get sniped, it's easy to get shotgun. You can just throw a cold snap at your feet and it hits them and they're done for. So they're getting a little bit of a buff within these 3. So I'm not mad at these. So these are fine. These are fine. Nothing crazy. Middle Tree Striker, which is the main subclass that I use. Inertial Override, increased duration from 4 seconds to 6. I mean, it's cool. And sliding over ammo brick now grants 20% melee energy, which is, all right. See, I already used this subclass with Synthecept, so you know what I'm saying. Slide over ammo bricks, and me getting this get my melee quicker, so I can just go and, you know, use my middle tree melee a lot faster and just slam people, my thunder slam. So that's dope. Small little change, but nothing too crazy, but effective. So not mad at that. Top tree Sentinel. Now, what I wish they would talk about with Sentinel was the fact that hit detection on Sentinel is terrible. It's really bad. There's times where I have to hit people 2 or 3 times to kill them. It's really bad, but clearly here they didn't address that. So it just says Word of Dawn. Increased damage taken from bosses from 0.25 times to 7 times at 0 resilience. Damage taken can scale down to 0.25 based on owner's resilience stat. Now, it's just this is a nerf to Word of Dawn, so you just can't go around placing bubbles over bosses and just melting them with swords. They kind of want you to like think about it before you do it. And this is okay. I'm not mad at this. I get it. It's cheap to do that, but you know, that's the kind of game we play. And when you have stationary bosses that just sit there and don't move around, so that kind of sucks. Anyway, they really highlight resilience too. So I think resilience is going to be a bigger factor for these than people realize. So keep an eye on your resilience stat for when the time comes for these changes. Now we go into the Hunter. Revenant. Again, I'm not reading all that. We know Silence Squall is great. It's probably going to get like a small nerf or a buff here somewhere. But, oh, and Withering Blade. So apparently they hit it too hard last season. So the following changes should make it slightly easier to land while keeping the damage and slow duration at a reasonable spot. Now, Silence Squall. It increases the Squall movement speed by 20%, which is the tornado. And the Squall Storm now stops when it touches the boss. So instead of it just like, you know, withering, this is PvE related by the way, but instead of it withering around and just like spinning out of control and shit, now when you hit a boss, it'll stay on him the entire time. So, I mean, that's cool. That's better for PvE. I think that's actually a good change. I'm not mad at that. It's super, still gets me sometimes, but I just hate being frozen. But that's just me. I think being frozen in this game is stupid, but here we are. Withering Blade, increased projectile speed and tracking by 10%. So apparently they hit it much harder than they wanted to, so they're putting that up a little bit. So yay, more Withering Blades hitting me and freezing me and stopping me from moving. So that's good. Middle Tree Gunslinger. Knife Trick, increase burning duration from 3 seconds to 4 seconds. It's a small little change, but that's a pretty good buff. I'm not mad at that. Top Tree Gunslinger, 6-shooter. Damage fall off now starts at 25 meters instead of 20. So apparently this was an unintentional change that they're not reverting back. It's due to a mishap. So, okay. So basically they're extending the lethal range of this super a little bit to reduce how often it requires 2 shots to kill in Crucible. Okay. Not mad at it. Arc Strider. Arc Staff, extended passive super duration from 16 to 20 seconds. Increase heavy slam detonation radius from 5 to 6. Increase damage versus PvE combatants by 33%. These are all good changes. The Arc Staff, that super isn't used nearly as much as it used to be, so I'm not mad at that. Top Tree Arc Strider, Deadly Reach, increased duration from 8 to 10 seconds. And Middle Tree Arc Strider, Lightning Weave, dealing damage with Tempest Strike now triggers Lightning Weave, and that timer can now be extended by dealing damage with any weapon. Again, these are all pretty much buffs, all good changes. I'm not mad at them. That kind of need to be looked at, so kudos to Arc Strider. Middle Tree Night Stalker, Spectral Blades. Now, Spectral Blades, I mean, like I said here, you can still go invisible and vanish from radar, and it has the highest damage reduction value in the game. So this is one of the most successful supers, like the most successful club subclass in general in Crucible. So it's getting a little, I think it's getting a little nerf. So the reducing damage reduction during super from 52 to 47%, and the reduced additional DR when invisible from 5% to 3%. So we're getting small nerfs. It's not that big of a deal. Like, it did kind of need to be looked at the same time, I guess, but that super and subclass has always been strong. There's ever a time where it hadn't been, but so that's just getting a slight nerf. I don't think it'll be that big of a deal, but we'll see. Warlocks, finally, you guys. Shadebinder. So let's just go ahead and start. Winter's Wrath. Reduce shatter pulse damage versus close range supers. Let me just say I'm okay with this. There's nothing worse than me activating my super and this man just does that shit and then I'm just dead. So I think I always thought that was stupid. I'm glad that's being changed. So now you got to do it twice. Warlocks must now freeze and shatter twice to defeat players in Burning Maw, Fist of Havoc, Sentinel Shield, Nova Warp, Arch Staff, or Spectral Blades. Now Glacier Quake, it still only requires one shatter to defeat. So if you freeze me, you're gonna have to use that shatter pulse twice, basically, to kill me if I'm in my super. So I'm not mad at that. Again, I mean, you can freeze them from so far away, and that thing has a good reach, bro. Like I'm okay with them correcting it, so that's good. Now, top Tree Dawnblade. This is gonna be the one that's gonna fuck the world up. I can already tell. So, Celestial Fire. Reduce tracking cone angle. Thank God. This needs to be looked at. This here is one of the most cheapest things to use in Crucible. I'm sorry. Y'all can get mad and act like Warlocks are just the most, oh, good, Warlocks are always getting stuff taken away. No. This top Tree Dawnblade has been like the best subclass over this past year or so. Like, quit crying, all right? Celestial Fire is bullshit, and I'm glad this is all happening. Arming shape, proximity detonation now shrinks over time, good. Reduce detonation size by 1 millimeter, good. Damage fall off increases short distances, good. All changes I'm cool with, needs to happen. There should be no complaint. Everybody knows how stupid this thing is. So these are okay. I'm okay with this. Icarus Dash now provides one air dodge every 4 seconds. So that whole spamming bullshit, we're doing it twice? No. Now you get one every 4 seconds. I'm cool with that too. This makes it to where people can't just get like, you know how if Fury is playing against Top Tree and Trials, they get to the middle of the map with way quicker than everybody else does. And it's super annoying. So I'm glad that's getting changed. Also, under the effect of Heat Rises, you get 2 dodges every 5 seconds. So when you activate Heat Rising, yeah, you'll get your 2 dodges back. You'll get them every 5 seconds. Now, as a result of that, Heat Rising, as you see here, is going to be increased from 10 to 15 seconds. So that's also, that's still helping y'all out. You just won't get to just spam them shits. Increased time extension awarded for air kills while Heat Rising is active. The extension duration differs based on type of enemy you kill. So you can extend Heat Rising while it's active by killing enemies. That's pretty cool for PvE. I mean, I don't know how it's going to do in PvP, but we'll see. Now, your location now appears on enemy radar when using Heat Rises. All fine. All these things I'm cool with. Cool. Top Tree Dawnblade has been the best subclass easily in PvP for like a while. And it's about that time for these changes to happen. I'm not mad at them. Now, Middle Tree Dawnblade, which is the Well of Radiance. This is going to probably get the same type of thing that Word of the Dawn got. So you can't just pop a Well of Radiance over somebody and just like melt. So increased damage taken from bosses from 0.25 to 1.25 at 0 resilience. Yep, pretty much the same as having a bubble. Damage taken can scale down to 0.25 based on resilience. Same shit. Note, this refers to Well of Radiance itself and not the players inside the well. Exactly. Okay. Increased damage resistance buff versus enemy players from 20 to 40%. Players inside Well of Radiance are now immune to stasis, freeze, and slow. That's actually pretty dope. Huh. So players inside the well are now immune to stasis, freeze, and slow. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. That actually may be pretty cool to use in PvP now. Not that I would recommend it over Dawnblade, of course not, but just for the memes, that could be pretty dope. Well Sword can now be frozen and shattered by stasis. Well, I mean, wait a minute. Okay, all right. I just does that not almost negates it? Like what? The Well Sword can now be frozen and shattered by stasis. So I can't be frozen while I'm in the well, but the well sword can be frozen and shattered, which kills. Okay, so like even though the well sword be frozen and shattered, I won't be. So like even if they, so when they, okay, all right, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. That's fair. That's fair. It needs something so it can damage it. That's fair. That's fair. And Guiding Flame, increase duration from 7 seconds to 10. Increase damage buff from 20% to 25. All good. I'm not mad at these Well of Radiance changes, even though that's like a buff that could be cool in PvP. And I completely get the whole Well of Radiance thing being damaged into PvE because we use them as a crutch. So I completely understand it. Finally, we have bottom Tree Dawnblade, Phoenix Dive. Reduce delay before dive starts. That's cool. And can now input a direction to dive in that direction. That's dope. Huh. Alright, I'm not mad at that. Igniting Touch, ability rework. Solar ability kills and kills on burning targets now cause targets to explode and burn other nearby enemies who will also explode if they die while burning. That's, huh. Hey, maybe bottom tree will get some love. That's kind of dope. I'm not mad at that. Now we go to Stormcaller. Chaos Reach. This is all I wanted to read. I want to read this part specifically for this. These changes should lead to less instances of Chaos Reach dealing damage to enemies on the other side of a wall. Thank you! Do you know how many times I'll be behind something and that stupid Chaos Reach kills me when I know that it shouldn't have? Thank you. So, increase beam environment collision size to better match collision size with damage size. Reduce beam damage radius by 20% in PvP. Reduce beam endpoint sphere radius by PvP and 33%. Not mad at any of these. Thank you. I really wish they would have touched on the whole the Geomag shits, or just, you know, I got Chaos Reach and get them shit so quickly. Overall though, well and good. You got my approval for this one, Bungie. Bottom tree, Stormcall. Arc Soul, increase duration from 12 to 13, increase fire rate by 10%, that's dope. Electrostatic Surge, now increases sprint speed when allies are near, also cool. And Landfall, now fires 5 arc ground projectiles on cast. Holy shit. So that's getting a buff. So okay. Alright, so these are mostly buffs. I'm okay with these. Middle Tree Voidwalker, Nova Warp. This is kind of one that I've been curious about because Nova Warp hasn't been used really at all, honestly, and that was actually a really good. It's really good. It has a really good neutral game, but the super's kind of eh. Hopefully they change super. It says increase damage versus PvE combatants by 73%. Holy shit! Nova Warp may be the fucking move in PvE. Okay. No longer slows movement speed while charging / charged. Now detonates on cast. Nice. Honestly, that's not bad. I'm kind of curious how that's gonna play out in PvE. Handheld Supernova, increased damage versus PvE combats by 100%. Holy fuck. Increase hold time from 2.5 to 3.2 seconds. Bro, Nova Warp may be the move in PvE, honestly. Especially for ad clearance. Holy shit, I'm not mad at that. Overall, I'm happy with pretty much the majority of these changes. I know there's going to be a lot of Warlocks out there claiming that they're subclass, that Bungie hates them, and they're getting this. And like, look, man, the only really nerf thing that they're doing is they're correcting Chaos Reach. I don't even say nerf, they're correcting it. And they are nerfing the top Tree Dawnblade a little bit. Not enough to where it still can't be dominant. It's still going to be good. It's just changes that have been bullshit for a while that are getting changed. That's it. It's really not bad. Y'all don't be in here crying about, oh, they don't like Warlocks, and I've already seen people talk about how the TWAB was Titan catered, and after what I just read, I'm just like, where? These are mostly PvE changes with like a cool barricade change. It's not a lot. It's really not. Like, a lot of this stuff, these are actually overall good changes, honestly, for me. The only thing that this is my takeaway from this is before I leave. The Rally Barricade, I'm excited about, honestly. This, I'm excited about. I want to see how this is going to be in PvP. In PvE, I think it's going to be great, but I want to see how it's going to be in PvP. Also, the sliding thing, I don't think it's going to be that bad as people think it is. I'm okay with these changes because this has been a shotgun meta for so long. But what I don't want to happen as a result of this is people just default to just using a sniper and just sitting back ADSing for like 5 minutes waiting for somebody to walk by. So that could be a gift and a curse. So we'll see how that plays out. Those are the main two things that I'm pretty excited about, honestly. I mean, don't get it wrong. Like, this is getting corrected. Like, I mean, it's getting a little bit of a buff. No big deal. I'm happy for Arc Striders also. They needed it. And I'm happy for Warlock and the Nova Ward. So everybody's getting something good. Everybody's losing a little bit of things. There's no catering. There's no Bungie's playing favorites. So stop crying. I don't know when these changes are gonna start. I don't think they actually said it. These are just future things that they're working on right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you just hit the comment section and let me know how you feel about these changes. I think they're good changes personally, but you know, we'll see. We'll see. Hope you guys enjoyed again. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more content, and make sure you hit that like button. And yeah, keep rocking with me, man. We're at 600 subscribers right now. Let's keep it going to 1,000. And share this video as much as you can. And everybody, please be respectful to the Bungie devs, man. All right, I'm with you. I get it. It's been a long time. I understand. But be respectful to them, man. Don't go in there wishing death on people and saying the worst kind of shit you could think of to them. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you have any kind of disagreements, then just say that. But don't be an asshole, all right? Hashtag don't be an asshole. That's all I'm saying when it comes to us and the Bungie devs. Shout out to the Bungie devs. Y'all got a hard job, man. I get it. I want to say some fucked up shit sometimes my damn self, but I'm not an asshole. So, you know, everybody just relax. We'll wait to see how these changes are, and then we can act accordingly. But until then, I'm out.